Well, didn't think I'd be doing this again until February. What's going on, everyone? Mike here. Welcome back inside the garage area. And, well, I gotta channel my inner David Land for this. Because, again, sorry I'm tardy to the party for the exposing Joseph Lombard situation. But I gotta do this. I feel like I have to do this. Especially after what's been going down with bail enforcement officer Dustin McGee, who has a pretty decent sized YouTube following with his exploits in bringing these felons to justice. So, without further delay, let's get into it. And I have a video from Austin Okonoski that shall explain everything to you. So, let's do this.
NASCAR's willingness to embrace social media has made the sport more accessible than ever before, but it's come at a cost. Whereas drivers in the garage area were once afforded a base level of privacy and generally kept away from any sort of drama involving the younger or weirder side of the fan base, intricate parts of the sport are now just...
There we go. Joseph Lombard being weird to Haley Deegan. Ugh.
Just a few clicks away. It's now possible for any average Joe to cozy up to players in the industry and make a mess of things if they're not careful. For teams in the NASCAR Xfinity Series and NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, this can pose a serious problem. There's an inherent need for sponsorship money, but very few takers given their status as a minor league, which results in teams taking a leap of faith with someone they're not super familiar with, or a brand just getting off the ground. Sometimes it actually works out, and it makes for a really cool story. But these conditions also create a perfect storm for Joseph Lombard, a NASCAR Xfinity Series sponsor whom most people would prefer you didn't talk about, because several years later the entire situation is just sad, bizarre, and creepy.
Yeah, so basically, he got lucky at the right time with the YouTube algorithm playing NASCAR video games back in my senior year of high school, 2012. But then around the time that COVID hit, his dad died.
The trajectory of Joseph's life changed, however, when he revealed to his YouTube community on July 29th, 2017 that his dad
Pardon me, it was 2017, excuse me.
was killed earlier that morning while helping a stranded motorist. Immediately there was an outpouring of support from Joseph's rather sizable community as, coupled with his eccentricities, there was a bit of concern he'd have difficulty processing the grief associated with such a traumatic event, but Joseph, to his credit, pulled himself up by his bootstraps and just continued the YouTube grind, indulging in more NASCAR video games.
Yeah.
I just got some bad news this morning that my dad was killed.
Yeah, credit to Lombard where it's due for picking himself up after the death of his father. Death in the family, death of a loved one, for that matter, that could shake anyone to their core. So credit where it's due.
Unbeknownst to his audience, Joseph and his family became extremely wealthy almost overnight. Speculation on this varies from what some believe is a life insurance payout to potentially selling off his father's stocks in his old company, though the details of this have never been made public. As devastating as this must have been for Joseph and his family, once grief counseling came to an end, Joseph was left with more money than he knew what to do with, and had...
And there it is. Money. Isn't that always the case? Money turns people evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil, and once Joseph Lombard had that money, he became an evil, self-centered jerk.
out there, and with the rumored financial windfall, he probably could have done this for a really long time. It was also no street stock. Joseph could have become an amateur racer himself at his local short track, trying his hand at a safe, entry-level class like sport compacts or street stocks. He realistically would have done fine and been no better or worse than the other weekend warriors out there. and with the rumored financial windfall, he probably could have done this for a really long time. It was also no secret that Joseph spent long hours in his room binging on video games. There probably wasn't a girl in the picture, and it's not hard to imagine he was kind of lonely. With his new financial situation, nothing was really stopping this guy from going to the strippers once every couple of weeks, or signing up for OnlyFans and finding a girl he liked, or finding someone his age that was into the sugar daddy dating lifestyle. Now, it's not common, but it's a thing. Point being,
I don't know why that's
there
a
were a
thing.
couple of normal avenues to cope with being lonely. Where Joseph's money actually went and how Joseph used it as an avenue to satisfy his loneliness is where the story gets weird and just really uncomfortable.
Yeah, he became a NASCAR sponsor because of this other NASCAR YouTube jerk.
On March 13th, 2018,
Jason Jacoby.
Lombard announced he would be sponsoring Ryan Sieg's NASCAR Xfinity Series car for the race at Auto Club Speedway, claiming a man named Jason Jacoby had encouraged him to do so.
Yes, that Jason Jacoby. The Jason Jacoby who sent death threats to his teacher, to various NASCAR teams, and to his ex-girlfriend, who, by the way, was underage. He was arrested multiple times over, sent to jail back in January, and now has gotten out of jail. Yes, Jason Jacoby is at large once more.
It's directed at NASCAR drivers.
I'm going to take matters into my own hands and cut off Dale Jarrett's hand here.
Team. What I'm getting at here is really bizarre. For a period of time in 2018, a professional auto racing series was slowly being infiltrated by schizophrenics role-playing as NASCAR drivers, and young kids on the autistic spectrum blowing their financial windfall. Xfinity Series teams in a financial bind were forced to play ball with this bizarre, unprofessional, borderline predatory ecosystem because at the end of the day, the checks cleared. And nobody was really mature enough to step in and say, hey, don't take this kid's money. This is fucked up. He just lost his dad and some schizo is manipulating him.
Yeah, and there was no return on investment.
Nature's Bakery had sued Stewart Haas Racing, claiming SHR misled them about the returns they would experience from sponsoring a race car. I'm not saying the two are related, but where there's smoke, there's fire.
This is where it gets weird.
With no return on investment, Lombard was essentially paying to be a low-tier celebrity inside the NASCAR garage area, but as a result, this blurred the line between fantasy and reality. Lombard, it seems, became convinced that the more money he spent, the more it would establish his credibility and people would want to associate with him, but this really didn't pan out the way he thought it would.
And there he goes again, being weird to female drivers.
Especially when it came to women. As documented extensively on Twitter.
Yep. If you follow Lombard on Twitter, you're going to see a lot of pictures with NASCAR Twitter girls tweets with Joseph Lombard liked on the timeline. If he saw a NASCAR Twitter girl tweet, he liked it. Every last one of them.
Lombard began aggressively throwing himself at younger female NASCAR fans to the point where it would show up on other people's timelines and be this unspoken thing that everyone just sort of watched play out. Just as NASCAR was making a push to be a more inclusive, more diverse sport, and teenage girls felt comfortable jumping on social media to talk all things NASCAR, there was this Xfinity team sponsor who was sitting on social media waiting for them like a Venus flytrap to awkwardly hit on them. And as you can imagine, he got busted.
Yeah, and he was going after underage girls, too. As you can probably tell by this tweet. I don't know what's worse. The fact people had been talking for years about Joseph Lombard being a creep, or that it took a DM about his unsolicited you-know-what for people to believe it.
After months of rumors and speculation that Lombard had a bit of a problem, In the fall of 2020, an underage girl came forward and basically said, yeah, this dude sent me dick pics.
Yeah, unclear if he's been arrested right now. And he has essentially gone dark on all his social media.
Lombard vanished. All of his YouTube channels are inactive. His Twitter is inactive. The Lombard Bros gaming channel has been renamed to just Joyce Lombard, which is presumably his mom, and his mom appears to have made one of the last posts on the accompanying Twitter account.
So, I now have some videos from Dustin McGee on this matter.
More information in the private conversation and screenshots are starting to be released and unfold, as he has also sent inappropriate detailed pictures of his private area to a 16-year-old girl. This is indecent contact with a minor with ill intent. It has also been rumored that this isn't the only female that he has done this to.
Oh, that is just sick and wrong. And it was to a 16-year-old girl at the time. Oh my god.
And also, the Atlanta, Georgia Police Department is not taking any online reports at this time. This just in, breaking news.
After these allegations went public, we still have, we still have another victim that came forward, and this is actually one that I follow on Twitter.
News, Joseph Lombard has another victim who has just recently came out and come forward and has fell victim to Joseph Lombard's inappropriate behavior.
Okay. Oh, there's the PM spam. There's the DM spam on Twitter. Looked innocent enough to start,
In the online racing
but
community, asking about meeting up.
uh-oh. There it is. Using someone's pictures against them. Asking to meet up and hitting on them? No. No, 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 no. Joseph Lombard, you a-hole. You are an a-hole.
Telling them that he wishes that he was cuter or that she was cute. Just all around
there's the meetup.
inappropriate and cringy content. Stay tuned for more as it develops.
We got some more.
Joseph Lombard was born August 20th, 1993 in Atlanta, Georgia. Joseph Lombard is also...
And there's that half-assed apology from Lombard. It reads, I don't know how to begin this conversation, but I want it to be known that I sincerely apologize.
Into SC...
Hang on.
As into SC... Joseph Lombard is also commonly known as into...
I want to read that full half-assed apology right there.
In Atlanta, Georgia. Joseph Lombard is also commonly...
I want to sincerely apologize to... I can't read that. I'm sorry. When it comes up again, I'll read it out.
Joseph Lombard was born August 20th, 1993 in Atlanta, Georgia. Joseph Lombard.
I don't know how to begin this conversation, but I want to sincerely apologize to anyone who may have been offended by any conversations or actions I've shown towards them. It has never been my intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable around me. I care about people, and I will do anything I can to help someone. Yeah. You sick little monkey, Joseph Lombard. You sick little monkey. You probably should have taken the Kyle Larson route and apologized on video, posted to your Twitter. But this is just plain cowardice. Absolute cowardice. And you wonder why people like Darian Gilliam, Black Lives Matter, disavowed you. Ryan Sieg and his team disavowed you. Oh my god. I just hope he gets the help he needs. And after these allegations went public, this happened.
With Chrissy and Deb in their podcast, they are dropping Joseph.
I gotta refresh. And
this just in with Fast Slap with Chrissy and Deb in their podcast. They are dropping Joseph Lombard from their podcast immediately. This just in with Fast
Lap with Chrissy and Deb. They dropped Joseph Lombard like a rock. Now, I do believe that Dustin McGee got sued not once but twice. So I'm going to put my mug back up on here. So, yeah, Dustin McGee got sued not once but twice by two different law firms claiming to represent Joseph Lombard. Both for defamation of character. Hello? To the law firms that are representing Mr. Lombard, let me make this clear to you. Joseph Lombard's character is not being defamed when these allegations are true. Joseph Lombard, aka N2SC4R, you're nothing but a pedophile. A sick, perverted, twisted little creep. Alright? Your allegations of defamation of character have no weight. You have no case. You want Dustin McGee to cease and desist? How about you cease and desist these lawsuits? Alright? The evidence is out there. Your victims are coming forward, and you're going down. Alright? You've just been crashed out of the race. Anyway, Mike, I'm heading back into the garage area for now. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out.